Last Friday night, my friends and I decided to hold a classic board game marathon at my apartment. We had the essentials: pizza, soda, and the vague promise that no one would flip the table during Monopoly. Things started off pretty normal, until my friend Greg pulled out a battered velvet pouch and announced, with the gravitas of someone unveiling Excalibur, that he'd brought his lucky dice. Apparently, these dice had not only never failed him, but also once helped him win a radio contest and avoid a speeding ticket. We were skeptical, but Greg's enthusiasm was contagious, so we let him use them. The first sign that things were getting weird was when Greg rolled 6 straight doubles. Every time he landed on free parking, he insisted we add another house to his properties per the ancient rules of the dice. Soon, the game's logic began to unravel faster than my patience. When we ran out of paper money, Greg suggested we use raw potatoes as $100 bills and, for some reason, 3 slices of cheddar cheese as get-out-of-jail-free cards. By midnight, the board was littered with produce, and my roommate's pet squirrel, Mr. Nibbles, had scampered onto the table, immediately promoted by Greg to the esteemed position of banker. Mr. Nibbles took his duties very seriously, by which I mean he darted around the board, occasionally absconding with a potato or two and burying them in the couch cushions. Greg, undeterred, insisted this was just like real banking, and started negotiating loans with the squirrel, which mostly consisted of him squeaking and waving a celery stick. My other friend, Jess, tried to mortgage her properties in exchange for a bag of baby carrots, and I realized I had spent the better part of an hour arguing with a rodent over a disputed rent payment on Baltic Avenue. The game finally ended when Mr. Nibbles made off with the last potato. Greg declared bankruptcy in a fit of dramatic flair, and just tried to pay me rent with a handful of trail mix. As I surveyed my living room, now resembling a produce section after a tornado, I realized I'd learned a valuable lesson: never trust a man with lucky dice and a squirrel with your assets, because in the end, the house always squeaks.